even hired a private investigator, Simon Landry. He was supposed to be the best, but his trail ran ice cold once he hit the Keys. He returned part of my deposit, if you can believe it. You've had some experience solving mysteries, and I'm hoping that you might help me look into this one. I will be staying at the Gardens Hotel this week, working on my book about what women can learn about toxic love from Hemingway's wives. I'll spend most of the day tomorrow at the Hemingway home, and would love to chat with you there or meet for dinner, or whatever might suit your schedule. Text me any time. Signed, Catherine Davitt. Then she'd added her phone number and a crossed fingers emoji. Again, I thought about deleting the message. My husband, Key West Police Department Lieutenant Nathan Bransford, was not a big fan of me getting involved in possibly dangerous situations. Not that this would be dangerous, but it sounded like it ventured into law enforcement territory. On the other hand, how much trouble could I get into if the woman had disappeared 40 years ago? Now I was super curious. A text arrived on my phone from my dear friend down the dock, Connie, directed both to my next-door neighbor, Miss Gloria, and me. The new baby is up wailing, toddler Claire is hysterical, and I desperately need caffeine. Not to be too needy, but I could murder some breakfast. An SOS if I'd ever heard one. Be right there, I texted back, and Miss Gloria added her thumbs up. I packed up the breakfast muffins chock-a-block with crispy bacon and sharp cheddar that I'd baked yesterday, poured coffee into an insulated carafe, and headed for her boat. Evinrude, my gray tiger cat, and Ziggy, Nathan's little dog, trotted along in my wake. Connie had taken me and my cat in several years ago, when we had been kicked to the curb by a bad boyfriend choice. She had also been my college roommate. My mom and I had seen her through the dark days after her mother died of cancer. Now she had an infant and a needy toddler, a stressful, even if temporary, transition of a different kind. When she cried uncle, I came running, and vice versa. By the time we arrived, everyone had climbed up to Connie's second-floor deck. Toddler Claire was gnawing on a wedge of apple and distributing Lego bricks over the floor. Miss Gloria had gotten there ahead of me and was rocking the baby gently and crooning baby nothings. The infant's eyes were pinned to our friend's face. I met Connie's gaze and knew she was thinking the same thing I was. How sweet it was to see the juxtaposition of the old and the new. I settled the animals and gave them treats, then poured cups of steaming coffee, added milk, and passed around the muffins on Connie's floured plates. "You're a lifesaver," Connie said, nearly inhaling her first muffin and cup of coffee. We chatted about the baby's sleep pattern. Not terrible for 3 weeks old. Claire's upcoming toddler preschool session at the Key West Library. And then my unusual email. I read it to them, including the text of the old newspaper article. "What do you think?" I asked them. Miss Gloria said, "Of course you should go. She needs your help." Connie was not so sure. "Why is she looking for her friend now?" she asked. "She's been gone for over 40 years. Plus, why you? Why not go to the authorities like a normal person would?" These were good points. It was hard to argue with her reasoning. "Here's what you do," said my octogenarian friend, jostling the baby a bit in her excitement. "You tell her 2 o'clock, but go early so you can lurk in the background and follow the 1 o'clock tour as if you're one of the tourists. She'll probably be in the crowd, listening for Hemingway tidbits for this project she's writing. Use your honed detective skills to try to pick her out. If she looks suspicious, book it out of there. If she looks normal, take her across the street to the Moondog Cafe, buy her a cup of coffee and hear the story. Then tell her to call Nathan, because you're going to talk to him if she doesn't." "Actually, that's brilliant," I said. Even Nathan would have a hard time complaining about that plan. It was well thought out, cautious, yet potentially helpful.